things happen. We can't control the world. What we can do is heal where healing is possible. What we can do is love where loving is possible. Help where helping is possible. And that's what we do. Okay? If when things happen that we would rather not have happened, we have to deal with the fact that they've happened and start from that point. Okay? If we get into regret and sorrow and anger for things that are already over and done with, we waste our life, we waste our energy, we don't help anybody.
Our question is always, what can I do?
Yes, I'm just told you what you can do. When it's already over, then give your healing and energy and help and to the ones that are left. Trees, when you get to know them better, you realize they are not helpless beings, nor are human beings. If you keep thinking of the universe as separate and apart from everything, all these separate things bouncing around and interacting separately, wow, then there's cause for an awful lot of sorrow, helplessness, frustration, anger, all this kind of stuff comes up. Nobody's helpless. And as terrible as it might seem to one of us looking at it from the outside, everything that's happening has its own purpose in happening, and its own effects and its own consequences in happening. Yes, when we can help to avoid something, modify it, heal it before something happens, that's wonderful. But you're going to find a lot of times in life where you can't do that. Try as you might, it doesn't work. Then you've got to realize that's part of life too. Okay? Doesn't make any sense to fight life. It's too big. Has its own ways of operating and its own rules of operating. I am not saying go with the flow. There's a time to do that, like when you're surfing. Even then you do a lot of guiding with your feet. Okay? What I'm saying is, do what you can when you can, to the degree that you can. Whatever way you love or feel is important. Definitely do that. But don't waste time being disappointed when things happen that you can't control.
Okay. But I'm curious, those trees at the Iniki Beach Park, what was the reason for cutting them? They were beautiful, and they're one of the many in this way.
Who knows what goes on in the minds of the people up in that council cloud, or the State Department of Parks, or whoever is responsible for that. You have no idea what stimulates something to take an action. Now sometimes the trees are cut down, looks like they're cut down way back so that they're almost dead, but they do grow again. If they're taking them out by the roots, then somebody has decided that these things must go, and that's decided at a level that most of us don't access. Trying to figure it out after the fact, how could they do that? Why did they do that? It's like the why questions I was telling you before. All those questions do is serve as to make you upset.
There was nothing in the papers that they were justified.
No, that's right. So, I mean, you might, if you're really interested, inquire. I got the whole island in an uproar one time, from the mayor on down, when I saw some trees cut that I didn't like, and I wrote the paper, and I wrote the mayor, and I wrote to everybody, and action was taken. And I got personal letters from all these officials, and there were newspaper articles, and I had an effect. One thing you can do is use the ways and means that you do have to try and make influence felt, to maybe have an effect on future decisions like this, if it's important enough to you. Or you can work strictly through a mental, spiritual way. You can use all the approaches. You're never helpless. The fact that you cannot control something does not mean you're helpless. So somebody made a decision for some reason that that person at that time thought was important. Or maybe they were following a rule or a regulation. We don't know. It's possible if you want to follow the trail and find out if it's that important to you. And it's possible to let the officials know how upset you are. Because they're not going to know unless somebody tells them. If nobody tells them, they're going to do anything they want anytime they want. So there are ways and means of getting your feelings expressed and getting information.